Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Have you ever really truly considered the world of fairies? I mean, not just as, folklore, but maybe something
Mm.
more tangible.
Mm.
Today we're diving into this really unique, incredibly rare manuscript. It's called Fairy Gold by Basil Lacroix.
He's gold, right?
And this thing, it's not your typical storybook at all. It's this weird, fascinating blend of his own personal encounters, traditional beliefs, and even, well, specific instructions on how to interact with them.
Yeah, and that's pretty much our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? We want to sort of explore how this material really navigates those blurry lines,
Yeah.
between imagination, deep belief, and what the author at least saw as reality.
Exactly.
You should expect some, well, surprising facts, I think, and definitely a few aha moments about
Mhm.
fairies as this text presents them. And what it might tell us about, wanting to understand or even influence the unseen.
Okay, let's start with the author himself, Basil Crouch, because his experiences really set the scene. He paints this picture, quite vividly actually, of his own garden. Got a fish pond, an apple tree, and he claims one night, under the moonlight, he saw 5 fairies flitting from flower to flower.
Flitting, wow. Not just saw them, but flitting.
Right. And what's really striking, I think, isn't just the claim itself, but how far he went. He actually tried to record them, put his cassette player down, hoping to capture something.
A cassette recorder? Seriously?
Yeah. You have to sort of admire that conviction, don't you? It really suggests that line between what he perceived and, well, reality was maybe a bit blurred for him.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is how the source then shifts from that really personal, almost intimate viewpoint to how society, or at least the people in the text, viewed fairies.
How so?
Well, you see this clear split. You've got characters like Dot or Susan who are quite sure they've seen them or they just deeply believe.
Okay.
But then you get others like Tom or maybe old Walt who just dismiss it all, calling fairy gold short money or just, a ridiculous idea.
Right, the classic believers versus skeptics.
Exactly. It highlights that this tension, this skepticism, has always been part of the fairy conversation, even within this specific text. Does it give any hints why some believe so strongly?
It doesn't delve deep into the why, but it shows the spectrum clearly. And some took it further, didn't they? Like June Summers.
Oh, yes, June Summer.
She apparently claimed her garden produce, like her vegetables and stuff, actually did better because of the little fairies she saw dancing on the flowers at night.
So a direct, tangible benefit almost,
Oh.
linking the mystical right to her backyard garden.
Yeah, that blend of the mystical and the really mundane.
Which, if you think about it, connects to the sheer variety of beings the source describes. It goes way beyond the little winged things we usually picture.
Oh, yeah. What kind of variety are we talking?
Well, the list includes gnomes, elves, trolls, pixies, brownies, even these things called worms, which are described as a kind of bad fairy.
Worms, as in like actual worms or just a name?
It seems like a name for a type of malevolent fairy.
Yeah.
It definitely broadens the scope beyond just, pretty sprites.
Okay, so a whole ecosystem almost. Where did they supposedly live, and what were they like?
According to the text, places like trees, stones, rivers, pretty standard folklore locations maybe, but also they could apparently change forms.
Change forms, like shape-shifting.
Yeah, sometimes appearing as children or even frogs, apparently.
Mm.
It weaves them right into the natural world.
Yeah.
Although it does make a point to say that water fairies or undines are, quote, pretty little and good.
Yeah.
So not all are mischievous or bad.
Interesting. There's a hierarchy, or at least different types. It's striking how it moves from just seeing them, like Crouch did, to something more interactive.
Right.
And this makes me think of that famous case, the Cottingley Fairies, from 1917.
Ah, yeah, the photos the two girls took.
Exactly. This source, Fairy Gold, makes the pretty bold claim that there was no sign of forgery in those photos.
Wow, okay. That's a strong stance.
It really is, and it sort of bridges us perfectly into the more practical, almost instructional parts of the document, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Because it raises the question, okay, if you believe this is real, what do you do about it? And surprisingly, the source gives you things to do, like actual instruction.
Like what?
Well, for instance, it tells you how to make a model of fairyland using really basic stuff, cardboard, blue and green crepe paper, little figures.
So you build your own little fairyland?
Kinda, yeah. It takes this ethereal idea and makes it, well, something you can physically build on your table.
And then there's the actual ceremony, the Fairy Gold ceremony.
Mm-hmm. That's the core ritual, it seems.
It gets really specific. You set up a model pool, you need a candle, a knife, string, and you're told to invoke the fairy godmother, calling on fish, flowers, the earth.
Very ritualistic, step by step, almost like a recipe.
Exactly. It offers this pathway, this method to actually interact, supposedly.
And the stated purpose of this ceremony is fascinating too. It's meant to destroy a demon, specifically one named Ukobak.
Ukubak, never heard of that one.
Apparently a lesser-known sort of fire demon, according to this text.
Yes.
Or the ceremony could just be used to gain understanding, more broadly.
Okay, so demon fighting or seeking knowledge. And there are rules, right? Timing.
Oh, yeah, very specific
Yeah.
timing. It has to be the full moon or the night right after. But here's the warning.
There's always a warning with this stuff, isn't there?
Right. It says pretty clearly, do not perform this ceremony if you don't want fairies in your dreams.
Whoa. Okay. So it invites something potentially permanent or at least persistent.
Seems like it. And it even gives you countermeasures, like how to get rid of tolters described as troublesome sprites using salt water. It's a whole system.
Yeah.
Engagement, purpose, warnings, defense.
Wow. So wrapping this up, this deep dive into fairy gold, it really throws you into this world that's a mix of deep personal belief, old folklore, and these incredibly detailed, almost spell-like instructions for dealing with the unseen.
It really does. It challenges you to think about how belief itself can shape perception, maybe even reality for some.
Yeah.
And maybe it leaves us with a question. Thinking about this blend of intimate stories and these, well, surprisingly specific instructions, what does it make you consider about those lines? The ones between belief, what we call reality, and what we maybe choose to see, or even actively invite into our own world.